Hi, my name is Raven. I am a second year biopsychology major at UC Davis. As a person, I believe that I am made up of the people who surround me. So to know me, you need to know my family. I'll introduce a few. This is my sister Emishiana. She's my older sister by 4 years. She practically raised me. And that's her best friend Robert. There's my niece Melody and her brother Nehemiah. Way back there in the distance is Lakendra, our older sister. And even further back is Treasure, my little sister. Hiding in the hallway of the hotel is my little brother Joseph because he didn't want to be filmed. My oldest brother, not seen here, is Deontay, and I have a sister who's 2 years older than me named Brishi. They all have impacted my life in wondrous ways. But sometimes our relationships can get a bit bumpy. But I feel like that's true with most families. Overall, they've cared for me a lot and they love me a lot. We all live in a place called Lancaster. Lancaster is a medium-sized town about an hour from LA. I spent my whole life in Lancaster, so the demographics have definitely affected my knowledge about other communities. So when I came to Davis, I learned that there was a lot that I didn't know. I'm happy to say, though, however, that my journey to learn more about myself and the world is not a lonely one. Let me introduce to you my extended family. There in the front is Dorian. She's actually the first person I met in Davis. And the blue skirt is Emily. I met her when she randomly invited me to go get ice cream with her. Tayo is in the red daishiki, and we bonded over our shared love for anime. Unique, who's in the white dress in the back, is very fashionable and a very reliable person. And last but not least is Anacia. She's a very selfless person. All of these people and the experiences I have with them have influenced who I am today. Through the challenges I faced and the days I've lived, I've learned that the best way to live life is to continuously be an active learner. I aim for my daily interactions to evolve as I gain more and more information about the world I'm in. I refuse to stay stagnant in my knowledge and ways of living, because I'm learning that ignorance can hurt me as well as the people around me. So please, watch this example of how I gain knowledge about important social subjects and aim to continue to grow in this knowledge.
Hey Raven, what have you been typing for a while? You've been on your keyboard just typing intently for like 20 minutes. What have you been typing?
What did you say?
I said like you've just been looking flustered for like the last 20 minutes. What's going on? What are you typing? What are you so flustered about?
Oh, it's this essay for AS123, the black female. I'm really trying to use gender inclusive language throughout this essay, and it's taken more time than I thought it would. Like, it's crazy because, like, before I came to college, I was completely blind to concepts like this. I didn't think much about calling a group of people you guys, but now I know, like, when I say things like that, it can make people uncomfortable because they don't want to be called a guy, or they don't identify in the gender binary, like male and female.
You're right. I actually think like in high school we were never really taught to be cognizant of people's identities like that. You know, no one was really intentional in teaching us that. So I think it's a pretty good idea to do that.
You have grown in your knowledge, and I think so have I. You kind of remember? Do you remember the first time when we learned about intersectionality? You know, when the term coined by Kimberly Crenshaw, we were talking about how these different identities kind of interact to like form to create like certain lived experiences. We were talking in social categories like in gender, race, religion, sexual orientation, and just how these identities are related to certain oppressive forces creating a certain lived experience. And just as you see here with Kimberly Crenshaw, we were talking about how she's this queer African American woman, this law professor at UCLA in Columbia. She coined, again, as I said, the term intersectionality. And for example, like, just to give you an example, it's when women are paid less than men, but we have to consider women of color are paid even less than white women. We're just kind of talking about that concept of intersectionality.
So, how did you just do that?
Do what?
Like, this stuff on the board, it just appeared. Okay. I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. Do you remember when we learned that race is a social construct? Okay, I'm trying to do this whiteboard thing. I hope it worked out. Oh, it worked. Okay. So yeah, race is a social construct. And so like, what is a social construct? And it's the development of constructed understanding of the world that forms a basis for shared assumptions about reality. So it's not based off of facts, it's based off of assumptions that people make. And it's like, why do we have them in society? It's because it's easier for people to have like a set script about a group of people or like a person instead of approaching each person as an individual. And this is called like essentialism. And so it's treating an individual based on assumptions of the group. So it's seeing an individual and like seeing certain characteristics about them and assuming because of those characteristics they'll act a certain way towards you or they'll interact with you a certain way towards you, and you use that to interact with them. So it's a stereotype pretty much. And so an example of the reason why like the race is a social construct is because if you lined up all the people in the world from like lightest skin color to like darkest skin color, it wouldn't be like this is all the white people and this is like all the Latino people and this is all the black people. Like that's not how it works. There's many different shades between that. So race is a social construct. So you see that race is a social construct from the example I just gave you, but it still has real consequences and privileges. So based on your skin color, people will treat you a certain type of way, even though it is a social construct. Alright, that was pretty cool.
What would be cool is if we had more information. All of this info gives us a good foundation, but how can we even learn more about this and continue to be, knowledgeable in all of this?
Well, when I think about it, there's always the upperclassmen, and so we can talk to them about like different questions we have or something, or like how to approach a situation, because I know a lot of them, like their freshman year, they didn't know all the stuff that they learned at college too, so they come from like a pretty, they understand like the situation we're in. And then also on campus, there's like other resources, like just down the way there's the SEC, and then the SEC there's ACE, there's the LGBTQIA Center, there's the Undocumented Center, so you can those are like totally resources to like learn more about ourselves, and then like also other people from our UC Davis community. Or you could just Google stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh wow, it's actually almost time for class, so how about we head out right now so we're not late.
Oh, good. By the way, do you have any plans this weekend?
I think, no, not really. Do you have anything in mind?
Yeah, the SEC is actually holding a viewing of Get Out. You know that movie about like different racial relationships and stuff? Yeah. They're having a viewing of that this Saturday if you want to go with me.
Oh, didn't I see something about that it's gonna be a conversation led by I think it's a professor who has actually been involved in the Black Lives Matter movement.
Oh wow, that's cool. So we're definitely gonna learn a lot of information at that.
For sure. So,
Yeah, sounds good.
all right.